Joining me now is Sky News contributor Tina McQueen and New South Wales One Nation leader Tanya Mihalik. Hi to both of you.
Hello.
Great to see you. Thank you for joining me. Look, let's start with this. Tanya, how narrow-minded is Labor there? And Chris Bowen fobbing off the question about $275.
Yeah, look, I think the problem Bowen has, of course, is today he actually just sung out of the playbook with Adam Brandt. They were, sharing the same media lines, which I think is extraordinary. This has been a bit of a hit for Labor because the mood is changing out there. The public are accepting nuclear as an option. Young people in particular, that they haven't been impacted by decades of fear-mongering by the left. And you'll see that the Liberals are now relying on polling in seats like Gilmore, where there's a 60% favourability for nuclear. So the mood is changing. And credit to Dutton today, what a courageous leader he is. There's a lot of vision there. And I think that's really scared Labor. They never really thought that Dutton would come out with such a great package. And it is a great package. Why would Labor attack a package that still meets the net zero target, which is what the broader community are after? Why would they attack a package that still includes renewables? So the fact that Labor and Bowen have attacked that is appalling. And I also want to say the opposition were very intelligent enough today to also say that coal can't be prematurely shut down. There still needs to be coal there as you do this transition.
Yes.
That's important for people to understand, to appreciate. We do need that base load power. I thought what the Coalition presented today was incredibly intelligent and something that you can really take to the election with.
Yeah.
And Bowen and indeed Albanese looked pathetic today.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
Bowen just looked like a pompous little Pomeranian trying to yak him all day at the feet of the media, trying to get attention.
And so
on
arrogant
this.
as well.
So arrogant.
The way he spoke to the media, he was just. You could tell he was
pathetic.
angry.
He was angry.
He was angry.
He didn't expect this.
Why he was angry, because the costings were done by Frontier Economics,
Yes.
who are non-partisan, and also the government has used them previously. So what are they going to say? There was no payment made for these costings. We've been asking for brave, bold moves from Dutton, and this is exactly in the right direction. And like you said, people just want to know their electricity is going to be cheaper, and this is vision from the Coalition, which is good to see, and keep on that track, and we will win.
And it's bold as well,
Yeah.
Tina. There hasn't been a Liberal leader, realistically,
No.
that has come out with a plan like this. I mean, how do you think it's going to be received?
It's very brave of him, but we've got no option, because Labor's way of doing things is going to cost us more, and we're not going to have the electricity we need. So there is no option. Dutton is giving us a way forward that pleases everybody, and I think, they're big numbers, but they're still, as you said, 44% less than Labor. So keep that in mind.
And who would have thought? And you see, this is the thing. Bowen cannot argue it with that. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, Labor will end up on the wrong side of history with this issue,
I agree.
nuclear, and they know this, I think. They really need to revisit this. I remember the AWU is one of the very few unions in the Labor Party that actually says that Australia should embark on nuclear. So they might want to start addressing this in their policy machine, I should say, in their own politics. But they know that everybody
if it's worked for the
ticking off
UK,
nuclear.
it worked for the US, but apparently Australia, no. Now, look, let's talk about big Australia, because guess what? It keeps getting bigger. Labor has overshot its net migration forecast by 50,000 people. In fact, net overseas migration was 445,000 in the 2023-24 financial year, exceeding the federal government's forecast of 395,000 in the year to June. Tina, this was not front and centre at the last election from both sides. And now we are in a crisis. People can't get into homes, the roads are congested. We've got to make this a priority, surely.
Absolutely, and it's something that Labor wants. They've always pushed for a bigger Australia because they think the more migrants that come, the more voter base they're going to have. So that they don't care. But this is going to be Dutton's next big move, immigration. And oddly enough, energy and immigration, two top of the policies and cost of living in the States, were mirroring the problems that America had and why Trump was elected. And I think we're going to address those issues, and Dutton, again, will do very well. But immigration, huge issue.
It's out of control. And the thing is, it's propping up our economy at the same time. We're a Ponzi scheme economy.
Of course we are, because we rely on international students, don't we? The entire university sector relies on international students. I do have to say, I would have liked to have seen a bigger point of difference between the Coalition and Labor on the issue of immigration. I think immigration is a massive issue. I don't know why the coalition have decided not to put a target up there in relation to migration.
Yes.
They've indicated that they'll do that after the election. I hope they're as courageous on immigration as they are on energy. I think the public are reeling. They don't want their taxes and their money, and their hard-earned money, propping up, migrants' housing and everything else.
Gosh, no.
People are tired of it. I think migration is a huge issue. It's been a huge issue for the last 18 months. It's really killed off, Andrew Giles' career and many within the Labor Party.
Yeah.
And I think that I'd like to see the coalition stronger on this issue. It worked for Trump. Okay, he made it a point of issue in the US against Biden, and I think Dutton should be stronger.
I think it's an acute vote-driving issue given the cost of living crisis. Absolutely. Now, look, the Prime Minister is again walking both sides of the street. This week he was out making announcements at a Jewish museum, and then yesterday he backed a UN resolution calling for an immediate Gaza ceasefire. Tina, who is he trying to please here?
Everybody. And you try to please everybody, you don't please anybody. You can't be in tears one day with the Jewish population, then, with those votes, absolutely disgraceful. You've got to have a strong, firm conviction, and he doesn't. He's wishy-washy, still trying to hold on those Western suburb seats where he thinks, not addressing the Jewish problems will help him, and it's not going to work. He's inconsistent, he's not sincere. All that's showing through now.
Yeah.
And it's quite sad to watch, actually, because the Jewish populations around here that are suffering so much realise that he's not authentic.
No, well, that synagogue fire last week actually proved, in my opinion, why Jewish Australians are scared at the moment, Tanya. And you've got the Prime Minister comforting them, albeit 4 days later,
Yes,
After he played tennis.
after he went for a round showing off his backhand, and then suddenly now he's at the UN. I mean, what is he doing?
Well, and it's also his response. I mean, Tina's right. If you're going to have a different view on this issue, then be really clear on it. He keeps hiding behind Penny Wong, and he hides behind her decision on this. But the reality is, Penny Wong isn't making a decision. She doesn't make decisions in a vacuum. They are doing this together. Her and the Prime Minister making decisions on behalf of Australians at the UN. And, where else would you see a situation where a country, Israel is essentially trying to defend itself in Gaza in circumstances where Hamas still has hostages.
Yes.
And we're
Exactly.
agreeing to a motion to ask them to cease fire. It's extraordinary, really. Where would you see this in a parallel universe?
No.
And I think, I think people can see it for what it is. And Albanese is only worried about, as Tina quite rightly says, about the votes in some of the seats that he cares
Bowen.
about in Western Sydney, and that's all that matters
Well,
to him.
they're basically selling out our values now to sandbag seats.
Yeah.
That's where we've gotten
That's the
to.
reality of it.
That is the reality of it. And you feel for Jewish Australians who are living here. They're meant to be living in a peaceful society. And yet here we are under Albo and
living in
Wong.
fear.
Living in fear. It's extraordinary. Now, look, I want to change the pace for our final topic of the night. We've got to have a bit of a laugh. Of course, it's almost Christmas. But I don't know, I feel like this is a nightmare of Christmas of sorts, because here was Bob Catter belting out a tune.
Glory to God, glory in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore Him.
Okay,
Good on
well, look, good on it. Tanya,
Good on him.
you're a politician. You didn't want to belt out a couple of tunes
there's an
for the
old
people
saying,
of New
politicians
South Wales?
shouldn't sing, I don't think, but good on him. Well done for giving that a go. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
Christmas carol, so I give credit where it's due.
Credit is
Good
due.
on him.
What do you think of the pipes? What do you think there?
No, give it a miss, Bob.
Not a fan?
Lower that tone and mouth the words.
Stick to
Don't
politics.
scream, oh, come, let us adore Him.
No, probably. Oh no, definitely not. Well, Tanya Mihalich, Tina McQueen, it's been wonderful having you both on the panel
Thank
this
you.
year. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for spending your
been a
Friday
pleasure.
nights with me, and
It's a pleasure.
it's been a pleasure. It's been fun. So thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you.